Well, tonight we're going to finish the book of James. So if you'll turn there to the last few verses, James chapter 5, verses 16 through 20. James, as you've come to know if you've been following the series, is an epistle or letter of doing. It's not just doctrine or theory, it is practice. And just as James began this with practical imperatives, practical things that the church and believers should do, he ends it much the same way. We don't just listen, but we do. And so here at the end of the letter is practical encouragement. I like to say it's like the difference between studying mathematical theory and applied mathematics. On the one hand, you might just study theory and never know what to do with it. And then the students ask, well, why am I learning this? But in applied mathematics, then you're shown how this applies to specific and practical situations. And this is what James is doing. We don't just have a theoretical faith. We have a faith that works and is practical. And in this case, at the end of the letter, shows how the church should be working together in particularly two areas as we conclude the letter, beginning at verse 16. Therefore, James writes, confess your sins to one another and pray for one another, that you may be healed. The prayer of a righteous person has great power as it is working. Elijah was a man with a nature like ours, and he prayed fervently that it might not rain. And for 3 years and 6 months it did not rain on the earth. Then he prayed again, and heaven gave rain, and the earth bore its fruit. My brothers, if anyone among you wanders from the truth and someone brings him back, let him know that whoever brings back a sinner from his wandering